Hey, it's Dr. Rimka coming to you live. This is one of these moments in my life where I have to it's kind of a wake-up call, and I'm taking notice. I have resisted the digital movement. I have resisted going, being filmed, coming onto this landscape, basically trying to scale myself into a larger thing. I've been very happy in my office, just taking care of people one-on-one or in group processes that we do there and keeping a very low profile overall. But the message has been coming to me at least for 2 years, but I'm finally listening. You know, the 2x4s have been hitting me upside the head and I've been resisting. So finally in the last 6 to 9 months, I said, okay, let me get over all my own crap and get on board, because I'm not making the kind of impact that I should be making. I'm not helping the kind of people that I should be helping. And the amount of people that are coming into my office consistently telling me after the first few visits, like Angel's just doing this at this point. They're like, why are you still here? Why aren't you teaching? Psychologist after psychologist after psychologist who are my patients keep saying, why didn't I know about this? Why are you not teaching? Why are you not teaching psychologists? You should be at Georgia State. You should be on the road. You should be doing continuing ed. On and on and on. It literally is every week. They're like, we love that you're seeing us one-on-one, but you should be teaching students and interns to be doing this because not enough people know what's going on. So it's been very inspiring and flattering, and I'm listening to Spirit talk to me through all these people, and I'm like, okay, I got to look at myself and get over my own that is resisting me from getting on film and telling people the truth of what really is, because I don't want to become a target. But something just happened earlier that got me to a new level of the kind of stuff that we deal with in practice all the time, that I don't know how I'm going to help these families if I don't start being louder about it. I'm going to read an actual text that I got from a friend up in Michigan. So I am from Detroit, and I do present, I am love and light and meditation and Zen and spirituality, and I chant, and I've been doing this stuff for 25 years. I've been in the game to make myself a loving, open heart and all of that. But there's a lot about me that comes from Detroit, and we're aggressive, and we don't play. And when somebody crosses a boundary, we come out fighting. We come out swinging. I had to teach myself to not swing at first reaction, okay? Because that's what I came out doing. And I had to see, how can I learn to hug instead, okay? So, but sometimes you got to come out swinging. The kids in America, what they're being offered in the terms of healthcare, in the terms of education, has me pissed. So I have a friend who's a teacher, okay, preschool. She sent a kid off to, said there's something going on with it because she cares and she wants to help this child. Sent this child to go get an evaluation. 3 years old. This is the text I get. So, what kind of specialist meets with a 3-year-old one time for a half an hour and prescribes ADHD medication? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, this is somebody who have had to help her own children who were on ADHD medication and are now off medication, dealing with, their focus and concentration improving, their anxiety and panic attacks have stopped, all with neurofeedback. I'm not even helping with the bigger stuff on this family. They are living in Michigan, okay? So here she is, a preschool teacher. This is what she sends me. And we go on and on. And she's right. She goes, I didn't even get evaluations to fill out. They didn't even talk to me. 30 minutes. This is the type of healthcare specialization that is going on for a 3-year-old. So a kid is having problems. A teacher's trying to intervene, trying to help. And what do they walk away with? A prescription for an addictive medication that is going to hijack their brain, hold it hostage, ruin neurological development, eventually get them prescribed to another drug, because you put a methamphetamine in a 3-year-old's brain. What do you think is going to happen? I tell you right now what's going to happen, because in my office, every single week, we get new kids that are just like this. Every time. And I'll see them when they're 8, 10, 14, 17, or 20. And at this point, gee, we were given the stimulant. Oh, and we reacted badly and we were hyperactive and blah, blah, blah. So what do? Now I got to give you an anti-anxiety. I got to give you something to push you down. I got to give you tranquilizers. So now we got the 2 meds. Oh, now there's something else. Oh, well, now he's depressed. So now we need an antidepressant. Now we're on the 3 drugs. So then we're having more and more reactions by 12 or 13. Oh, gee, we've had anxious and depressive symptoms all being driven by a freaking amphetamine. And so now we're going to diagnose you bipolar. And now we're going to give you another drug that's going to deal with those symptoms that the other drugs are actually really causing in the first place. And then we're going to probably become suicidal. We're going to cut, mutilate, and may threaten suicide. And now we've been psych warded. You've been shipped off to a psych ward, strapped down and tranquilized even more. I'm not making this up. All the kids in my practice have been through this story. Because it starts with somebody when they're 3 years old with a 30-minute evaluation thinking, I'm going to put this kid on a psychiatric medication without ever looking at their brain. I don't know how the hell you prescribe a drug without looking at the organ, much less anything about a person. And so this just actually happened to me recently, and I figured I wasn't going to talk about it because I don't need to spread my business, but I'm going to spread my business right now. So my own son has been dealing with anxiety off and on. We have all our reasons and we understand it. So he and his father have been having some issues. We're hitting that point, that age at 12. And so I said, okay, we need to maybe talk. I'm not having the same issues, but again, I'm not a man, okay? He's got a bump against his father. This is normal development. So we go to a psychologist, and I do everything out of pocket. I could care less about what my insurance is dictating or telling me what to do. So what I do, I say, I need the best. I find the best of everything all the time. So we have somebody who gets recommended to us by multiple therapists, and I let my ex-husband be in charge of this because he really wanted a man. I'm fine, I'm good with that. So we found the guy who is the psychologist to multiple professional sports teams in the city, all right? And to the biggest, most expensive college prep, aggressive schools in Buckhead, the super rich area of Atlanta, okay? So that's who this guy is. And within, I'd say 30 minutes of a 1-hour appointment with me and the father, no child present, he says I need to medicate him with a certain medication. I was like, damn, this is what people are going through? I just paid you how much hundreds in cash to say that to me? And you have never met my son, asked about any health history, biological history, his genetic profile, his labs, his medication reactions, is he sensitive to stuff, his structural deviations, nothing. Oh, yeah, you just need an SSRI. It's going to handle this whole thing to be like a miracle. What? I was like, we both walked in. I said, you see what I'm dealing with? He was like, oh, yeah, that's just, nah. So I had it happen to me a little bit like, and again, he didn't have the power of the script. 3 years old. 3 years old. Teacher trying to help. It just happened. So here's the thing. I've been scared. That's the truth of it. I don't want to become a target. I posted something about psychiatric meds and getting some testing, genetic testing that just helps increase the probability of maybe you're going to be medicated accurately. I said nothing about this is the way to do it. This is the black and white and all the stats. I just like, it's just another tool to help, prescribing. First of all, diagnosing is super hard. The Mayo Clinic did a study on its own self. The Mayo Clinic, just so you know, is the best diagnostic hospital we have in the entire United States. They did a self-study on themselves and realized, oh, damn, Gina, we're only accurate 33, I think, % of the time or something like that. Really? If they're only accurate that often, what are they doing in Topeka, Kansas? You know what? Can you understand what's going on here? So then you put psychiatric stuff in there. There's no testing, no biological exam. They don't look at the organ. They don't look at the brain at all, right? They do nothing. 30 minutes. Here's your methamphetamine. Here's an addictive drug that's going to come in here and affect this brain and its critical neurological development points. Let me tell you what psychiatric drugs do, right? No matter what age you are, they hold the brain hostage. That's it. Now we're locked in this state. It's held hostage from all its emotional and psychological development. It's stunted. It can't quite do the same. So now I got parents, when they come off the drugs, they're surprised this 17-year-old is acting like an 11-year-old. I'm like, is that when you medicated him? Yeah, because this is a Dr. Nema quote here, because, pills don't teach skills. And it's really hard to learn a damn skill when you're drugged out of your mind. Who in the hell drugged a 3-year-old with amphetamine for ADHD? Are you kidding me? But see, here's the thing. That's actually going on all the time. All the time. I just happened to be, that was a friend of mine who said just had to happen to her. You know, again, so it's a wake-up call. And I appreciate you, girl, for doing it. And I think I needed somebody from Detroit to kind of kick me in the say, you know, it's enough. I can't be afraid of becoming a target. When I posted that psychiatric thing, psychiatrists came after me hard. They were threatening to go after my license. They were threatening to report me to the board for simply offering information to patients to empower them. I didn't tell them to stop taking their meds. I didn't tell them to stop going to a psychiatrist. I just say, if your psychiatrist isn't willing to work with you, move on. Find somebody who is. If your doctor's not willing to listen to you, bye, Felicia. It's time to be done. So I appreciate this message, and I'm going to have to get over my crap. I'm going to have to get over the fact that I do have this rough and tumble about me. I do have this energy from Detroit. I do swear. In my office, I'm a certain way. I got to be love and light, and I'm peace, and I chant, and I meditate, and blah, blah, blah. And I do come out, and I'm coming to hit you. And I think that's what needs to happen at this point. And they've been telling me this. My friends who come into the office, my patients have been saying it. They're like, oh, my God, we love you. We love this space, and blah, 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 blah. But, girl, I think you're hiding. I'm like, well, I'm good hiding. I don't want to be, because where I come from, anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That's how I was raised. And I'm very careful about what I say. And with all this digital and recording and everybody, oh, this is with me for life. So somebody can download this and use this against me another time, can't they? You know what? I can't care about that, because somebody's got to talk for that 3-year-old girl. Somebody's got to get to her parents and say, you have other choices. What? So that's where I'm at, and I'm hiring a whole new team, and we're bringing the digital stuff to you. We're going to have different platforms, different ways of me being able to educate you guys, different group forums, different whatever, because, you know, the amount of phone calls and texts and stuff I get people all over the country, and this is one, I was like, you know, I could do this. I do see patients all over the country. I can see you distance. I don't have that on my website. I don't have this big, slick thing, but I can do it all. I can read the labs. I can help you with all this stuff. I can coach and guide you, help you find the people where you are. You all can't necessarily come to me, but there's a lot I can do to you where you are and find you where you need to go. That's what I did with this friend. I'm like, okay. And now there's still some pieces that are left. It's made a massive improvement. I said, well, what you can do, girls, you got to become vocal. You got to speak out. You got to write that off as a testimonial. You need to tell all your friends what you've been doing. The problem with parents who are dealing with children with any type of mental illness or psychiatric thing they would call ADHD, autism, Asperger's, whatever, they're all ashamed and afraid to talk about it. That's the biggest issue I have in my practice with anybody saying. So I don't have testimonials and all of this stuff all over the place, because who wants to come in and say, my child was violent, ripping holes through the wall, stealing my car, stealing the credit cards. We took him to the psych ward, blah, blah, blah. And now in a few weeks, it's like back to who himself, you know, you saved our lives, you changed, because they don't want to talk about the kid that was, you know, diagnosed with all these things and doing all this stuff or whatever, right? I get it. There's a lot of shame and there's a lot of non-support for them. So I'm going to change everything so they can have a place, and I'm going to have to create that community and create that space. And it's going to take me a little bit of time, but that was too much. You know, it's just, and so talking to this friend, trying to help her, you know, she started crying because of the level of guilt that she feels over putting her kids on medication, doing what the doctors told her. And to be really clear, I'm going to tell all of you, if this is what your kids are on medication, it is not your fault. I don't blame any of you. You have been lied to, manipulated. It's not your fault. Her child had a concussion in the first grade, very, very severe. All these problems happened after. They didn't tell her what to do about it. They acted like it had nothing to do with it. I'm like, that's exactly what the problem was, right? So I'm like, it's the doctor's fault. It's their fault for not knowing their job better, for not continuing education, for not knowing how to go functional, for just dealing with, they have 7 minutes per visit and deal with their damn insurance to make all the money they have. Yep, a lot of them do real well. They drive better cars and bigger houses than me. But you know what? I bet their outcomes aren't like mine. So it's enough. It's enough. I might piss some people off, but those kids got nothing else. They got nobody else, you know. And the ones of us that do, I've been afraid of getting attacked, of being a target. I can't anymore. I see it too much. And I come to tears at my desk going, why didn't I see this kid when they were 6 before all of it happened to them? I'm like, you're not bipolar. You're not, what are you talking about? You're poisoned. You have options. You have options. I'm not the only one. There's so many. There's so much help. So much help. They are not born to be drugged like this. It's our fault. These diagnoses are increasing. I'm not saying kids aren't more anxious. I'm not saying kids aren't more depressed. I'm not saying they're not as focused and can't concentrate anymore. There's really a shift. Drugging them into a stupor isn't the answer. We need to take responsibility, look at what we've been doing, look at how we've created our lifestyle, our communities, our homes, our school environments, our food, everything. We need to wake up, take responsibility, make some changes. I'm here to do my part. I hope you're here to join me in it. It's enough.